All right, so we're diving deep today, and get this, we're taking a look at Christopher McDougall's Born to Run, but with a little twist.
The twist.
Yeah, we're actually basing this whole deep dive on some amazing insights we found over at rockingultra.com.
Oh, cool. I love that blog. They have some really great stuff for runners no matter what level you are.
Exactly. Whether you're just starting out, or like you said, no matter what level, beginner, or even if you're a seasoned ultramarathoner.
Yeah.
They've got tons of articles on training, mental prep, all that good stuff. And they did this awesome breakdown of Born to Run, and that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Nice. That's a classic for sure.
Oh, yeah. Total game changer.
And just to be totally upfront, full transparency, we're actually AI voices, so what you're getting here is kind of like
a supercharged book club, right?
Exactly. We've read all the things, and we're here to break it down for you.
So to kick things off, Born to Run. It's more than just a book about running,
Yeah.
It's kind of a cultural phenomenon.
Absolutely. It's changed the way a lot of people think about running.
Okay, so let's set the stage. McDougall, the author, he starts with a problem that a lot of runners can probably relate to. Injuries.
Yeah, been there.
Right. He's sidelined, he's frustrated, and he wants answers.
So what does he do?
This is where it gets interesting. He ends up going all the way to the Copper Canyons in Mexico.
Copper Canyons? Wow.
Yeah, and he meets the Tarahumara tribe.
The Tarahumara. Now those guys know how to run.
Seriously, these folks are legendary for running incredible distances, and get this, often in just simple sandals.
No fancy shoes, huh?
Nope, just sandals, and they make it look effortless.
It's amazing, really makes you question all the technology we have in our running shoes these days.
Right. Like maybe all that cushioning isn't actually doing us any favors.
Exactly. McDougall actually makes the argument that our high-tech shoes might be part of the problem when it comes to running injuries.
Wait, hold up. Are you saying my comfy shoes could actually be hurting me?
Well, that's what McDougall suggests. He thinks those shoes can mess with our natural running form, the way our bodies are designed to move.
So instead of landing softly on the ball of our foot like the Tarahumara,
we end up pounding down on our heels with every stride.
ouch.
And that puts a lot more stress on our joints, which can lead to all sorts of problems.
It's something to think about. I mean, have you ever felt like your shoes might be causing you discomfort or even pain?
It's a valid question, and McDougall takes it even further. He brings in this whole evolutionary perspective, arguing that humans are literally built to run.
Built to run, huh?
Yeah. He points to things like our Achilles tendon and our ability to sweat efficiently, adaptations that evolved to help our ancestors chase down prey for miles.
Persistence hunting, they call it.
Persistence hunting, yeah, that's a serious workout plan.
Talk about intense cardio.
Right. Imagine chasing an animal until it literally drops from exhaustion.
It's incredible to think about. I mean, it really puts our modern concept of running into perspective.
Totally. We often think of it as a chore, something we have to do.
But for early humans, it was essential for survival.
Exactly. And McDougall's point is that we can tap back into that primal instinct to run, that sense of joy and freedom.
And it's not just about the physical aspect, right? There's also a strong social element to running, especially for the Tarahumara.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They run together, they support each other, they celebrate each other's accomplishments. It's all about community.
That's something Rocking Ultra really emphasizes in their analysis, that connection between running and community.
It's so important, and it's something we can all learn from.
Totally. I mean, think about those massive ultra marathons where runners from all over the world come together to push their limits.
It's incredible, that shared passion and camaraderie, even when you're competing.
It's inspiring, for sure.
And speaking of inspiring, McDougall actually wrote a couple of other books after Born to Run.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of those. Natural Born Heroes and Running with Sherman, right?
You got it. Natural Born Heroes is all about the incredible physical and mental feats of World War II resistance fighters. And Running with Sherman, well, that one's a little different.
How say?
McDougall actually trained a donkey for an ultramarathon.
A donkey? Seriously?
Yeah, a donkey. And it's a pretty heartwarming story. It really speaks to the power of connection and resilience,
That's awesome.
Yeah, they both tie back to some of the themes we see in Born to Run, pushing boundaries, connecting with others, and with ourselves.
I love that. So much good stuff to unpack here.
There really is.
And just a reminder, all of these insights, we're getting them from Rocking Ultra's analysis of Born to Run. Their website is a treasure trove of information for runners of all levels. So definitely check it out. You can find a link in the show notes.
Definitely worth a visit.
For sure. And of course, if you want to dive into Born to Run yourself, grab a copy on Amazon. We'll make sure you have that link too.
Sounds.
So we've laid the groundwork here. But there's still so much more to explore, like what happens when we actually start digging into McDougall's claims about running shoes and how our bodies are designed to move. That's what we'll be unpacking in part 2.
Can't wait. All right, welcome back to our deep dive into Born to Run. And just a quick reminder, we're those AI voices, and we're pulling all the best insights from rockingultra.com, a fantastic resource.
Yeah, definitely check him out if you haven't already, especially if you're a runner.
Absolutely.
So let's pick up where we left off and really dig into this idea that our fancy modern running shoes, they might actually be causing us more harm than good, as McDougall suggests.
Right, it's a pretty bold claim.
Yeah.
But Rocking Ultra breaks it down really well. They explain how McDougall argues that all that cushioning, it can actually change the way we run, our natural gait.
Oh, I see.
And it can lead to a heavier heel strike.
So instead of landing lightly on the ball of our foot like the Tarahumara,
Yeah, we end up pounding down on our heels with every step.
that can't be good.
Not really. It puts a lot more stress on your joints. And McDougall believes that's a big contributing factor to a lot of common running injuries.
It makes sense. Yeah, think about it. Those thick, padded soles, they're basically interfering with the way our feet and legs are naturally supposed to absorb impact.
Exactly. And he points to the Tarahumara as proof. You know, they run those incredible distances in minimalist sandals or even barefoot, and they don't seem to have all the same injury problems.
It's amazing. It really makes you wonder if we've over-engineered our shoes to the point where they're actually hurting us.
It's a real possibility.
Makes you think about those barefoot running shoes that have become so popular lately.
Yeah, I wonder if McDougall's book had something to do with that trend.
Probably people started questioning the whole idea of needing so much cushioning.
Right, and looking for ways to run more naturally.
Rocking Ultra calls it rewilding your running, which sounds pretty cool. But what does that actually mean for someone who's used to those big comfy shoes?
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to ditch your shoes altogether.
Oh, okay, good.
It's more about becoming aware of your running form, paying attention to how your feet land, and maybe experimenting with different types of footwear.
So finding that balance between protecting your body and allowing it to move naturally.
Exactly.
And that's where understanding our evolutionary history comes in, right?
Right. McDougall argues that as humans, we evolved to run long distances. It's literally in our DNA.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is. He talks about how the structure of our feet, our long Achilles tendons, even our ability to sweat efficiently, these are all adaptations that helped our ancestors survive.
By running, I mean, can you imagine chasing down antelope across the savannah for miles?
It's incredible, that level of endurance.
Makes our modern idea of running seem pretty tame in comparison.
Right. We often think of it as a chore, a workout we have to force ourselves to do. But for early humans, it was essential.
A matter of life and death.
Exactly. And McDougall believes that we can reconnect with that primal joy of running, that sense of freedom and connection with our bodies.
It's a cool idea. And that's where the Tarahumaras come back into the picture, right? They really embody that pure joy of running.
Absolutely. They run for the social interaction, the community, the experience itself, not for medals or personal bests.
And Rocking Ultra really highlights that in their analysis. They talk about how the Tarahumara don't get caught up in the competition. They run for the sheer pleasure of it.
Yeah, it's a really different perspective, and it makes you question our own motivations for running.
I know, like, why do we do it? What are we chasing?
It's worth thinking about. Maybe we could all learn a thing or two from the Tarahumara.
So how can we as modern runners bring some of that Tarahumara spirit into our own running?
Well, it might start with a shift in mindset. Instead of focusing on how fast or how far we can run.
Maybe we should focus on the experience itself.
Exactly. Tune into those sensations, the feeling of our feet on the ground, the rhythm of our breath,
Be more present in the moment.
and let go of some of those pressures we put on ourselves. You don't have to be elite athletes to enjoy running.
We can just run for the pure joy of it.
Right, and that ties back to McDougall's main message, that we're all born to run. We all have that innate capacity for joy and freedom through running. It's just a matter of rediscovering it.
That's an inspiring message for sure. And if you're listening and you want to learn more about this, definitely check out Rocking Ultra's full analysis of Born to Run on their website. They have so much great information, everything from running form to training tips to mental motivation.
And of course, if you want to dive into the book itself, you can find Born to Run on Amazon. We'll include a link in the show notes.
So we've explored McDougall's claims about running shoes. We've talked about the evolutionary history of running and the inspiring example of the Tarahumara. But what about the bigger picture? How has this book shaped the world of running and beyond?
That's a great question.
And that's exactly what we'll be discussing in the final part of our deep dive. Stay tuned. And we're back for the final stretch of our deep dive into Born to Run. If you're just joining us, you've missed some great conversation, but you can always catch up on the earlier parts. We've been talking about this amazing book and breaking down some of the key insights from rockingultra.com, which, by the way, is a phenomenal website for all things running. Seriously, go check it out.
Yeah, they have a ton of great articles, whether you're a beginner or training for an ultra.
Absolutely. And their analysis of Born to Run has been super helpful for this deep dive. So big shout out to them.
For sure. So in this last part, let's talk about the bigger picture. Like, how has Born to Run actually impacted the running world and even beyond that?
A good question, because this book, it didn't just tell a story, you know? It sparked a movement, a whole new way of thinking about running.
Totally. And Rocking Ultra points out that one of the biggest impacts was on the shoe industry. Like, suddenly everyone was questioning those big cushioned running shoes.
Yeah, that whole minimalist running shoe trend, that definitely took off after Born to Run came out.
It's like people started realizing that maybe all that cushioning wasn't actually helping, you know?
Maybe it was even hurting.
Exactly. McDougall really challenged those assumptions about what a running shoe should be.
And it wasn't just about the shoes, it was a whole shift in mindset,
Yeah.
Like Born to Run tapped into this desire to get back to basics, to rediscover that primal joy of running.
That's what Rocking Ultra calls it, finding your inner wild runner.
I love that.
It's like giving yourself permission to run for the pure experience of it, to let go of all those expectations and pressures.
And that resonated with a lot of people. It's like it gave them this freedom to move their bodies in a way that felt natural and intuitive.
And joyful, like running should be fun. It shouldn't feel like a chore.
Exactly. And it ties into that sense of community that McDougall talks about. You know, how the Tarahumara run together, they support each other.
They celebrate each other's accomplishments. It's not about competition, it's about connection.
And I think that's something we've lost a bit in modern running. It's become so individualized. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's focused on their own times, their own goals.
But Born to Run reminds us that running can be a shared experience, something we do together.
And that's so important, that sense of belonging, that camaraderie.
And we see that reflected in the rise of running groups, these social running events.
Yeah.
It's like people are craving that connection.
Absolutely. And Born to Run definitely played a role in that shift.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I just want to say again, if you're interested in learning more about this, definitely go check out rockingultra.com.
Yeah, their website is amazing.
They have so much great information, and their analysis of Born to Run was really insightful. Plus, they have tons of other articles for runners of all levels.
And if you want to read the book yourself, you can find Born to Run on Amazon, along with McDougall's other books. We'll link to everything in the show notes.
And before we go, I want to leave you with this final thought. What if you approached your next run, not as a workout, not as a chore, but as a chance to reconnect with that inner wild runner, to move with joy, curiosity, and a sense of connection to the world around you? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been fun exploring Born to Run with you. We'll catch you on the next one.